Raeliana stood amidst the manor's ruins, the once majestic facade now scarred by the splintered remains of a hastily abandoned siege engine, its walls bearing the weight of a long-forgotten battle. Unseen forces stirred within the manor's walls, their presence seething with an insatiable hunger, as though the very shadows themselves were alive and hungry.
Raeliana's grip on the candelabra tightened as she sensed the darkness gathering around her, its presence suffocating her, crushing her with an unrelenting pressure.
The manor's occupant, a man with an air of quiet authority, watched Raeliana with an unnerving intensity, his eyes burning with a fire that seemed to rival the very flames that danced around her. "That's good."
Raeliana's face remained inscrutable, but a flicker of unease danced at the edges of her lips, like a candle flame flickering in the wind. The occupant's words hung like a challenge, waiting for Raeliana to respond, like a sword poised to strike.
And then, in a burst of uncharacteristic emotion, Raeliana's face twisted in disgust, like a storm breaking over the horizon.
"Is he treating you too well? Ugh!"
The occupant's eyes narrowed, as though Raeliana's words had struck a chord, like a bell tolling in the darkness.
"Your Holiness."
Raeliana's voice was laced with a quiet reverence, but her eyes betrayed a deeper unease, like a hidden truth waiting to be revealed. The air seemed to thicken, heavy with the weight of unspoken secrets, like a fog rolling in off the sea. The occupant's eyes locked onto Raeliana's, a spark of recognition igniting between them, like a fire kindling in the darkness.
"Raeliana, stay here for a moment. And you, protect her."
The occupant's gaze narrowed, as though he sensed a deeper truth hidden beneath Raeliana's words, like a detective searching for clues.
"Is it?"
"Intruders?"
Startle.
"One with black hair, one with silver hair. Fidget."
Raeliana's words dripped with a mix of unease and trepidation, like a sailor facing a stormy sea.
"I shouldn't have trusted His Majesty. There's no way he would have let me leave for no reason."
And then, in a burst of uncharacteristic emotion, Raeliana's face twisted in disgust, like a storm breaking over the horizon.
"That's good."
Raeliana's face remained inscrutable, but a flicker of unease danced at the edges of her lips, like a candle flame flickering in the wind.
The deserted alleyway echoes with a haunting he, a chilling melody that sends shivers down Raeliana's spine.
"Lady Winknight, your presence is a trap, a web of deceit that threatens to ensnare me. If she knows where I am, I must flee, for in this game of cat and mouse, one misstep can be fatal."
Lady Winknight's voice is a whispered warning, a gentle breeze that rustles the leaves of Raeliana's heart, urging her to flee before it's too late.
The streets are a labyrinth of danger, and Raeliana's instincts scream to keep moving forward, to outrun the shadows that lurk in every corner.
Is Majesty guiding Lady Winknight's actions, or is it a mere illusion, a smokescreen to conceal the truth?
The air is heavy with unspoken words, a silence that hangs like a guillotine, waiting to drop and sever the fragile thread of trust. Lady Winknight's expression turns icy, her eyes flashing with a warning that Raeliana would do well to heed, lest she suffer the consequences of her actions.
Want something next time, okay? You always seem to know exactly what I want before I even know it myself, as if you have a sixth sense that guides your actions.
Lady Winknight's words are a subtle warning, a reminder that Raeliana's actions have consequences, and that the temple will fall further into danger if she stays.
He went that way. Catch him. Don't let him escape, for the fate of the temple hangs in the balance.
Lady Winknight's voice is a whip cracking through the air, urging Raeliana to move with haste, to outrun the danger that lurks in every corner.
The weight of Lady Winknight's words settles heavy on Raeliana's shoulders, a burden she must bear alone, a secret that threatens to consume her whole.
"I'm sorry, grandfather. You went through so much trouble because of me, and I'm grateful for your sacrifice."
It's his fault for barging in like that. You're fine, so visit again. We'll formally visit at a later date, Raeliana and I will, and we'll make sure to leave the past behind.
As I followed Lloyd into the labyrinthine halls of the mansion, my footsteps echoed off the cold marble floors like a mournful sigh.
The temple's corridors were about to erupt into chaos, a whispered rumor spreading like wildfire through the darkened passageways.
I trailed behind, my curiosity piqued by the enigmatic Lloyd and her cryptic motivations, like a puzzle with missing pieces.
The whispers grew louder, a chorus of speculation and intrigue, a tantalizing promise of secrets yet to be revealed.
Lloyd's eyes sparkled with a knowing glint, as if sharing a secret with the world, a whispered promise of revelation.
The air vibrated with anticipation, the promise of revelation hanging like a precipice, a moment of truth that threatened to upend everything.
Arya. Noah.
A name whispered in reverence, a figure of mystery and power, a hero who stood at the edge of the unknown.
Then will you come to the study afterwards? I need to speak with you about something. All right, go ahead. Daddy.
The plea was a desperate cry, a call to a savior who might never come, a cry that echoed through the halls of time, a call that was answered by none.
She turned her head to face the man who had bumped into her shoulder. Tassa made eye contact with him. She parted her lips. Excuse me. Lloyd's eyes narrowed, a calculating glint in their depths, a glint that hinted at a plan, a strategy that would unfold like a flower in bloom. What do you want? I said I'm on my way. Minutes?
The answer was a fragile thread, a lifeline that might snap at any moment, a moment of truth that would determine the outcome of the game.
I don't know. There's probably a celebrity nearby.
The stars were aligned, a rare conjunction of fate and fortune that might never be seen again, a moment of truth that would determine the outcome of the game.
You practically live in Gangnam. Why'd you call me then? Cert, because since you've gotten into college, you've been wandering around the streets late at night. Alright, I'll head directly home today.
The hallway's fluorescent lights flickered, casting an eerie glow.
And then his hand brushed against mine, sending a jolt through my entire body like a live wire.
His fingers wrapped around mine, a vice-like grip. His hand claimed mine, a possessive brand.
I felt a flutter in my chest as he led me deeper into the unknown, the world around us dissolving like sandcastles in a rising tide.
His grip on my hand remained unyielding, a constant reminder of his presence.
I felt a shiver run down my spine as he pulled me into a dark alley, the shadows closing in like a living entity.
I felt a jolt of surprise as he spoke, his voice low and husky like a summer breeze.
Found you, he said, the words hanging in the air like a challenge.
The words hung in the air, a gauntlet thrown down. The silence that followed was a heavy weight, a physical presence that pressed against my chest.
I felt a pang of disappointment, a sense of loss that echoed through my very being.
The series had ended abruptly, without fanfare or warning. The words dripped with venom, a scathing rebuke that cut deep.
I felt a sense of sadness, a sense of loss that weighed me down like an anchor.
The final message was a eulogy for the series, a farewell to the past. The silence that followed was oppressive, heavy with unspoken words.
I felt a sense of unease, a sense of discomfort that gnawed at my soul.
The darkness closed in around me, a suffocating shroud that threatened to consume me whole. The world around me was in chaos, a maelstrom of sound and fury that threatened to engulf me.
I felt a sense of disorientation, a sense of confusion that swirled through my mind like a maelstrom.
The moon above seemed to be setting, a slow descent into darkness.
I felt a sense of melancholy, a sense of sorrow that weighed me down like an anchor.
The silence was oppressive, heavy with unspoken words.
I felt a sense of desperation, a sense of hopelessness that echoed through my very being.
The darkness seemed to be closing in around me, a suffocating shroud that threatened to consume me whole.
Elara's eyes widen as the Duke's mansion unfolds before her, a whirlpool of opulence that shatters her composure.
I'm sucked into her vortex of emotions, the weight of her secrets a palpable force that threatens to capsize me.
The world freezes in terror as the Duke's mansion looms before us, its grandeur a stark contrast to the icy grip of winter.
A shiver runs down my spine, but it's not the cold that sends a thrill through me. You should wear another coat, but I know you won't listen.
Winter's chill seeps into my bones, the air thick with the scent of burning wood and the faint hint of desperation.
I'm not cold, but my smile is starting to freeze on my face.
My arm is stiff as a board, and I think someone will need to feed me soon, or perhaps I'll never be able to move again.
Sir, I have a concern that's been gnawing at me. Our supplies are running perilously low. Ah, miss, please take care of yourself. You're starting to look like you're about to succumb to the cold.
The crunch of boots through the drifts echoes through the air as the Duke's men trudge through the snow, their faces set in determined lines. I've heard it gets pretty cold up there, cold enough to freeze you solid in an instant.
Secret has a reputation for being one of the coldest places on record, and we're about to find out why. Ma'am.
Gideon?
A letter arrived for you just now, one that will change everything.
A seal bearing the emblem of the International Fiat School of Divinity. A symbol of power and knowledge that I never thought I'd see.
Damn clothes, I'm freezing my butt off in this cold. Dear Miss Macmillan, this is the International Fiat School of Divinity. We received your inquiry about Beatrice Tranchette, and I'm afraid we have some bad news.
A fire that fuels my determination is now a raging inferno. One that will not be extinguished until I find the truth.
Grit.
The flames of my determination are now a blazing inferno. One that will consume everything in its path.
Beatrice.
The sound of her name is a whispered promise of answers yet to come, a promise that I will not rest until I claim.
Who's opening the speech? His Grace, I presume?
Delete repetitive words. If suddenly or however appear, replace them with visceral actions. And
feels natural and urgent. The illustrious Duke's downfall is a blood-chilling reminder that even the mighty can fall.
OCR. I'd like to thank all of you who are here today.
The uncertainty is palpable, a living, breathing thing that thrums through the air like a heartbeat.
The original narrative, once a steady course, now teeters on the brink of change, like a ship buffeted by turbulent waters.
The weight of responsibility settles upon the individual, a crushing burden that threatens to upend the very foundations of the story. The curtain falls, a sudden, jarring silence that shatters the illusion of a seamless narrative.
Blood-chilling whispers echoed through the desolate Empire.
What's going on? Why is it called Empire?
A place where the brave and the foolhardy ventured, where the unwary perished in a labyrinth of unyielding horrors.
Her resolve was tested as the darkness closed in, a living, breathing entity that seemed to writhe and twist around her.
The darkness? What kind of darkness?
An unrelenting shroud of shadow that threatened to consume her whole. She approached the body, her heart heavy with foreboding as the air seemed to grow thick with an eerie silence.
Foreboding? What's happening?
The weight of the Duke's gaze hung over her like a specter, a sense of dread that seemed to suffocate her.
He took a step closer, his presence commanding attention like a force of nature.
What is he doing here?
His eyes narrowed, a hint of annoyance flickering in their depths like a spark of fire. Count Westenburg, he called out, his voice carrying across the landscape like a clarion call.
Who's Count Westenburg?
A man of great influence, and one who owed the Duke a debt of gratitude that seemed to weigh heavily on his conscience. Give whatever you need for compensation, he said, his voice dripping with condescension like a patronizing smile.
This is ridiculous.
Raeliana's eyes widened as she took in the scene, her mind racing with the implications like a puzzle piece falling into place. The air was heavy with tension, a sense of foreboding that hung over them all like a specter.
This is not good.
Raeliana's heart pounded in her chest, a sense of danger lurking just beneath the surface like a predator in the shadows. Echoed through the air, a harsh reminder of the stakes like a countdown to disaster.
What does it mean?
A countdown to catastrophe, one that Raeliana was powerless to stop. Long time no see, he said, his voice dripping with sarcasm like a poisoned dagger.
What's going on?
A facade of civility, one that belied the true nature of their relationship like a mask hiding a monster. She took a step back, her heart pounding in her chest like a drum.
She's trying to escape.
But the Duke's eyes never left hers, his gaze holding her in place like a vice.
A dark storm cloud descends upon the manor, its shadow suffocating Raeliana, who stands frozen in its grasp.
Please, don't let it be another disaster. I've had my fill of calamities for one lifetime.
Shall we proceed? Raeliana's shoulders stiffen in defiance, her eyes flashing with a fierce determination that sends a shiver down the spine.
No, let's pause for a moment.
Raeliana's eyes seemed to cloud over, like a dense fog rolling in off the sea, shrouding her in an impenetrable mist.
You appear to have lost considerable weight, you look. I've endured my share of hardships, but I've never seen anyone look so drained, so bereft of vitality.
Raeliana's eyes seemed to glaze over, like a painting melting in the rain, as the weight of her burden becomes almost too much to bear. The air is thick with tension, like a powder keg waiting to be ignited, its fuse burning down to the final second.
Shoo, listen. That's the Holy Knighthood, isn't it? I thought it was extremely rare for them to leave the Holy Land.
Raeliana's voice trembles, like a leaf in the wind, as she struggles to find the words to express the horror that grips her heart.
Raeliana. D&C Webtoon. For official Tappytoon releases, please check out Bateau. Toast. They come out each week.
The Arch-Magician ran simiagrates after 66666 Apophie, a name that sends shivers down Raeliana's spine, a whispered secret that only she can hear.
Mtoon Factory / a mysterious entity that seems to pull the strings from behind the scenes, its true nature hidden from prying eyes. Moon Knight Fantasy, a phrase that echoes in her mind like a siren's call, beckoning her towards a destiny that's both alluring and terrifying.
The words seem to swirl around her, like a maelstrom, pulling her down into the depths of a madness that's both captivating and deadly. They handed her the carriage keys, but the key to her freedom remained locked away.
You're engaged to a man with a lover, yet he's not the one he claims to be.
Expectations twist like a serpent, ensnaring those who dare to resist.
Is the girl supposed to be here today? The question hangs in the air like a challenge.
If you'd found her, you'd have taken her to meet your fiancé, but now that's impossible.
Why would you do that? The question cuts through the silence like a knife.
The weight of obligation crushes like a tidal wave, drowning all sense of self.
What?
Deception weaves a fragile web, a delicate dance of half-truths and lies.
Why would you do something like that, really? The words hang in the air like a challenge.
It's because of me. Everything got tangled in a mess of my own making.
If they couldn't see each other, don't worry about it.
Don't be fooled. The consequences will still unfold like a deadly storm.
What?
The ripples of this decision will spread far and wide, like a stone cast into a still pond.
I don't know what's going on, but you only live once, so take care of yourself. The words are a whispered warning.
The path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty, But one thing is clear. The stakes are now absolute. A countdown to disaster.
What does that even mean?
The choice you make will be the detonator that sets off a chain reaction, forever altering the course of events.
I'm saying you should do things for you, not for the expectations of others.
The concept of self is about to be pulverized, reduced to dust and ashes.
Love is fleeting.
The facade of love, the farce of devotion, a delicate dance of words and promises.
The leaves of doubt rustle in the wind, whispering secrets to those who listen.
The whispers grow louder, a cacophony of doubts and fears that threaten to consume us all.
Why do I feel comfortable? I've never seen him before, yet I feel like I've known him forever.
The comfort of familiarity, the security of a well-worn path, a trap that lures us in with its promise of safety.
Oh, dear me.
The night air was heavy with tension.
Your secrets are safer in the shadows. Her words dripped with desperation.
A horse stood patiently by the curb, its rider a man with a face both rugged and refined.
A horse. Brought it, and...
He was right, of course. She didn't want to be seen with him, not in public.
You don't want to be seen in front of your house with a man who kept you out so late. That's a scandal. Thank you for today. The words felt like a lifeline.
His response was a low, gravelly growl, like thunder on a summer's day.
Don't mention it. The words were a dismissal.
The horse shifted restlessly, its eyes fixed on the pair with an unnerving intensity. The air was thick with unspoken words, a perpetual reminder of the secrets they kept. Her thoughts were a jumbled mess, a kaleidoscope of emotions that threatened to consume her. The man's words hung in the air, a challenge she couldn't quite meet. I don't know who it is, but it's not right to be like that. A secret lover, hidden from the world.
Flap, flap.
The flutter in her chest was a physical response, a manifestation of her inner turmoil.
Flutter. The words echoed her heartbeat.
She didn't even ask for your name, and yet he seemed to know her so intimately.
Ha. The words were a surrender.
His eyes seemed to bore into her very soul, a piercing gaze that left her breathless.
I think she's certainly worth meeting again. The words felt like a promise.
The web of deceit was complex, a tangled mess of lies and half-truths. She was trapped, caught in a world of her own making. The thought sent a shiver down her spine, a cold dread that threatened to consume her. I'm saying you should do things for you, not for anyone else.
The words were a revelation, a reminder of her own desires.
Tune factory slash. The world spun around her, a dizzying blur of color and sound.
The words felt like a whispered secret. If you want more daily recaps, hit that subscribe button now.
The Duke's mansion loomed, an imposing monolith shrouded in mystery.
What did it have to do with my life, or Raeliana's for that matter?
The girl's tiny fists fly wildly, her face a twisted mask of fury. The sound of her rage is deafening, a cacophony of anger that threatens to consume Hero whole.
Hero, please, just break up with her already.
The girl's triumph is almost palpable as she pins Hero to the ground, her tiny frame a blur of motion. The mansion's grandeur imploded, its foundations shattered by an unseen force that left nothing but smoldering ruin.
No, it can't be. Our sanctuary was breached.
Danger lurked in every corner, its presence seeping from the very walls like a malevolent entity. He remained oblivious, a thread of safety still intact.
Come, taste the thrill of victory.
The whispered invitation hung in the air like a gauntlet, daring him to take a step forward.
Win a small coin and 1 point, and claim a magical doll as your prize.
Noah's composure faltered, a spark of curiosity igniting in her eyes like a wildfire.
Anyone else willing to take the risk?
The silence was oppressive, punctuated only by the soft hum of the mansion's generators, a heartbeat that seemed to grow louder by the second.
Tap S.
The soft click of a button echoed through the room, a sound that shattered the air like a fragile vase.
Stand, person.
The figure rose from the shadows, its presence a mesmerizing blend of captivating and unnerving.
I love you.
The words were laced with desperation, a plea that hung in the air like a challenge, testing the very limits of sanity.
Cute.
Even if you miss, the safety net of smaller dolls awaits, a consolation prize that barely scratches the surface.
I feel like if I leave it at home by itself, it will vanish into thin air or its hair will grow long, a haunting specter that will haunt my dreams. Indeed, I can imagine it haunting a room in the mansion, becoming part of a horror story.
Did you want one of these? I'll buy you one, no thanks, those are a little bit.
A faint hum began to build in the background, a low vibration that grew in intensity, like a ticking time bomb waiting to unleash its fury.
Give me some bullets, a lifeline in a sea of uncertainty. Happy 10 times.
The words were laced with venom, a challenge that seemed to hold the very fabric of reality hostage, a ticking time bomb waiting to unleash its fury.
Wow, you made a good choice.
Jun's world shatters like fragile glass as the crown's dark truth is revealed. It's a death sentence.
My heart thrums with unease, a warning siren blaring in the darkness as I sense the turmoil brewing within her.
The phrase, "I will be the one playing," resounds through the chambers, a declaration that's both bold and unnerving.
What does it mean for the game to begin? Will she be the puppet master, or the unwitting pawn? Soblet's presence in the center is calculated, a deliberate move that sets the game in motion.
The players' dynamics are shifting, like a storm brewing on the horizon, its fury about to unleash. The Duke's mansion is a realm of intrigue, where allegiances are forged and shattered with every move, each one a calculated risk.
But what lies beneath the surface, hidden from prying eyes, waiting to be uncovered? Milady's involvement in the game raises more questions than answers, her true intentions shrouded in mystery.
The stakes are rising, like a tidal wave crashing against the shore, its fury unstoppable. The air is electric with anticipation, as if the very fabric of reality is about to be torn apart, revealing the secrets within.
Soblet's words, soul bonds in the center, right, send shivers down my spine, a chilling reminder of the game's true nature.
Oh sir, Soblet's in the center, right? The Duke's mansion stood tall, its walls a stark reminder of the opulence that lay within.
Raeliana's eyes narrowed as she gazed up at the imposing structure, her brow furrowed in suspicion.
The darkness seemed to coalesce into a living entity, a presence that watched them with cold, calculating eyes, its very essence seeming to seep into their bones.
It might be dangerous, she said, her voice firm, her hand on the hilt of her sword.
The darkness seemed to boil over, a wave of shadowy energy washing over them, its very essence seeming to seep into their bones.
Shout if anything happens, she said, her voice firm, her hand on the hilt of her sword.
The air was heavy with tension as he spoke in hushed tones, his words barely audible over the soft hum of crickets.
That's what I should be asking you.
The darkness seemed to pulse with energy, the shadows dancing across the ground like a madman's dance.
Even during meal times, they're completely cold.
The silence was oppressive, the only sound the soft rustle of leaves, a reminder that they were not alone.
The air was thick with anticipation, the silence between them almost palpable, a living thing that pulsed with energy.
Was the word on everyone's lips.
The trees seemed to close in, their branches tangling together in a deadly embrace, their leaves whispering a chilling warning. The trees seemed to loom larger, their branches reaching out like grasping hands, their leaves whispering a menacing warning. The air was thick with anticipation, the silence between them almost palpable, a living thing that pulsed with energy.
We became friends.
The world seemed to shatter, the very fabric of reality torn asunder, its fragments scattering like leaves in a hurricane.
Milady has a fiancé.
The air was heavy with tension as he spoke in hushed tones, his words barely audible over the soft hum of crickets.
The darkness seemed to pulse with energy, the shadows dancing across the ground like a madman's dance.
He is very handsome, tall, and rich.
The air was thick with anticipation, the silence between them almost palpable, a living thing that pulsed with energy.
She had some problems.
The trees seemed to close in, their branches tangling together in a deadly embrace, their leaves whispering a chilling warning.
A bond forged in desperation's fiery depths.
That's how I became an unshakable friend to her. Does it all make sense now? The puzzle pieces finally clicking into place.
Shadows convulsed across the walls, a macabre ballet of light and darkness.
The captain's face hardened, his determination a mask of unyielding resolve.
That's not a compromise I can accept. The line has been drawn, and we won't be swayed.
Tension hung heavy in the air, the silence between them a palpable entity. The captain's words were laced with a challenge, his tone a subtle provocation.
No need to worry about the escort, you're free to leave.
Shadows lengthened, darkness deepening around them like a shroud.
If you stay, we risk clashing swords.
The captain's words hung in the air, a challenge accepted.
Sheaths his sword.
The oppressive silence between them was a physical weight.
To even suggest a secret guard.
An unseen presence watched from the shadows, its presence felt like a chill.
Secret guard.
Darkness coalesced, taking on a life of its own.
A
figure emerged from the night, tall and imposing.
Secret guard.
The moon cast an eerie glow, illuminating the scene in an otherworldly light. A whispered name carried on the wind, the sound haunting. A whispered secret hung in the air, a challenge waiting to be accepted.
Mtoon factory.
Shadows danced across the walls, a macabre waltz of light and darkness.
The oppressive silence between them was a heavy burden. The night air vibrated with an otherworldly energy, the atmosphere charged. A whispered promise carried on the wind, the words a gentle caress.
Darkness deepened, shadows growing longer and darker.
If you want more daily recaps, hit that subscribe button now.
Mpaya. The air reeked of smoke and desperation in the grand foyer of the mansion, where the echoes of chaos still lingered.
A shiver danced down her spine as she whispered, "Something feels off."
Step aside, she commanded, her voice low and even, I'll handle this.
The manager, a portly man with a wispy beard, eyed the stranger warily, his Adam's apple bobbing as he swallowed hard.
Can I help you today? She asked, her tone dripping with sarcasm.
This inn, the stranger declared, her voice dripping with malice. I'll rent it all tonight.
All tonight, she repeated, her eyes narrowing in incredulity. So, I'll rent them all, the stranger replied, her voice dripping with menace.
The manager's eyes darted wildly as he calculated the potential revenue, his mind racing with the implications. I'll give you double the price of whatever they have paid, she said, her voice cold and calculating.
These people are mannerless and noisy, she warned, her voice laced with disdain. It will most likely impact your business. Look here, young lady, the manager spluttered, his face red with rage. Are you kidding me right now?
The stranger's grip on the counter tightened, her knuckles white as she leaned in, her breath hot against the manager's ear. The stranger's fingers closed around the manager's wrist, her grip like a vice.
Grab! The sound of shattering glass echoed through the foyer as the stranger's hand closed around a nearby vase.
What do I do? The manager whimpered, his eyes wide with fear.
It's true that we've lost many patrons while the mercenaries are staying here, she said, her voice dripping with malice.
Sorry, but if you don't leave quietly, I'll have to call security. The manager warned, his voice shaking. The stranger's laughter sent shivers down the manager's spine. A cold, mirthless sound that chilled the air.
Disher, the sound of shattering glass was almost music to her ears as she hurled a nearby vase to the ground. Please, rest comfortably, she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm as she leaned in close.
Tap, tap. The sound of the stranger's heels echoed through the foyer as she turned to leave.
Fury ignites within me like a wildfire. The words cut deep, leaving a gash that refuses to heal. I'm still reeling from the verbal blows, a cauldron of emotions boiling over like a tempestuous sea.
Betrayal sears my soul. Those who insult you are an affront to my honor, a challenge I must answer.
Do you grasp the weight of your words, Brian? Your silence is a rebuke, a slap in the face that leaves me reeling. The words linger, a festering wound that refuses to heal. My composure, once unshakable, now teeters on the brink of collapse.
Satisfied? I'll not be placated by empty words. Anything less would be a betrayal, a failure to uphold the honor of our kin. Milady, the carriage awaits. Shall we depart and leave this place behind?
I left the carriage at the inn's rear. I walked, my feet carrying me away from the toxic words that still lingered in the air. I had to escape, to clear my head and process the emotions that churned within me like a maelstrom.
Shadows lengthen, darkness deepens. The wind whispers secrets in my ear, a mournful sigh that echoes through the desolate landscape.
Bitter memories swirl around me, taunting me with every step like a chorus of vengeful spirits.
The wind howls, a mournful cry that sends shivers down my spine. The landscape stretches out before me, a desolate expanse of nothingness.
My hand instinctively goes to the hilt of my sword, ready to strike down any threat that dares to cross our path.
28253. The memories come flooding back, a tidal wave of recollection that crashes over me like a stormy sea.
What are you waiting for? It's just one person. Give him hell, and let the world know we won't be silenced.
I slump my shoulders, weighed down by the burden of my own emotions, the weight of my past mistakes bearing down on me like a physical force. Yes, the arch-magician Ronsamuagrates after 66,666. I remember now, the memories flooding back like a dam burst.
A mysterious figure, lost in the annals of time. A thread of fate that weaves a tapestry of intrigue.
Mtoon Factory, where did I hear that name before? The memories swirl around me like a vortex, pulling me deeper into the past.
Moonlit fantasy. Opulent halls of the Duke's mansion unfolded before her. A behemoth structure that seemed to swallow the landscape whole.
Summoned to the Duke's estate, I'm met with an abyss of uncertainty, a void where purpose should be.
They handed him the keys to the kingdom, but it was a death sentence from the start.
I know a CEO who made a popular app, but his smile hides the truth.
And
feels natural and urgent.
The horse carriage's imposing frame looms over the streets, its intricate carvings a blood-chilling testament to a bygone era.
Raeliana, what's happening? The horse trots on, oblivious to the commotion it's causing, its hooves pounding out a discordant rhythm that shatters the eerie silence.
I'm going to be sick. This is all too much for me. The mansion's grand facade rises before us, its stone walls bearing the weight of secrets and whispers that seem to seep into my very bones.
Gideon Jura, the head butler, stands poised to greet us, his eyes gleaming with an air of authority that's as cold as a winter's night.
See.
The four butlers, hailing from different corners of the world, stand at attention, their faces etched with a mixture of curiosity and wariness, like a canvas of conflicting emotions.
I am Gideon Jura. You may address me as Gideon.
Niceties aside, Raeliana's presence here raises more questions than answers, like a puzzle with too many missing pieces.
There's only 4 butlers here? What kind of household is this? The mansion's labyrinthine corridors seem to stretch on forever, hiding secrets and surprises at every turn. Thank you so much, I'll leave it to them. As I step out of the carriage, the cool night air envelopes me like a shroud, heavy with the scent of blooming flowers.
From the left, this is Haley, Leah, and Maria. They are your servants, milady.
Before I escort milady to her quarters, let me explain the history and origin of this house. The words hang in the air like a challenge, daring me to uncover the secrets hidden within.
The history and origin of this.
That's really amazing. The words spill out of me like a dam breaking, and for a moment, I'm not sure if I'm excited or terrified.
Well then, let's proceed, milady. The mansion's corridors stretch out before us like a labyrinth, waiting to be explored.
The Win-Knight family's story is one of power, privilege, and the unyielding pursuit of dominance. The words hang in the air like a challenge, daring me to uncover the secrets hidden within.
Damn, the words spill out of me like a dam breaking, and for a moment, I'm not sure if I'm excited or terrified. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife.
In the grand halls of this estate, a tale of opulence and deceit unfolds. The architectural masterpiece before us conceals a dark history, one that will leave you breathless.
Ugh, spare me the theatrics.
Don't tell me this bed is a priceless artifact too? I'm starting to feel like I'm trapped in a historical drama, where the stakes are higher than ever. I'm just a pawn in some grand game, and I need to focus on my own survival. With a surge of determination coursing through her veins, she rises from the bed, ready to take control of her fate.
Knock, I haven't heard you. When did he get in? I thought I was alone in this place.
The door creaks open, revealing a figure shrouded in mystery, a figure that will change the course of the game forever.
What are you doing here? You can't just enter someone's home uninvited.
Just give me some space, okay? I need to figure out what's going on here.
The tension between them is absolute, a powder keg waiting to be ignited, and the characters will have to navigate this treacherous landscape with care.
Of course, I'll give you space. If that's your wish, then your life will just get harder from now on.
The characters will have to adapt to a new reality, one where the stakes are higher than ever, and the rules of the game are about to change in ways they never imagined.
I'll take care of them. While you should focus on getting used to living here.
The characters will have to navigate this treacherous landscape, where the line between reality and fantasy is blurred, and the stakes are higher than ever.
My fiancé came to my house, of course I had to greet her. Oh wow, he's so extra. While you should focus on getting used to living here.
The stakes are higher than ever, and the characters will have to make impossible choices, with the rules of the game about to change forever.
And starting tomorrow, we will begin the real lessons. I'll take care of them. While you should focus on getting used to living here.
The characters will have to navigate this treacherous landscape, where the line between reality and fantasy is blurred, and the stakes are higher than ever. The air is thick with unspoken expectations as Raeliana and the Duke engage in a delicate dance of engagement.
His words are laced with a subtle hint of desperation, a plea for her to see beyond the facade. Her expression is a mask, a carefully crafted illusion that conceals the turmoil brewing beneath the surface.